This video started out as a 13-year anniversary, wedding anniversary celebration of my husband and I in Mexico, just enjoying ourselves over this past weekend, celebrating love. And I wanted to share with all of you just some inside look into our time at the resort, one of our favorite companies. We go to a lot of their properties when we travel in Mexico. And I wanted this video to be just a celebration of love. But when I went back and looked at the footage and all the different things that I recorded, I was reminded of an insecurity, my insecurity. And I had to change my video for today because part of the reason I am doing this video, it's a way to help me heal. And I think that having this conversation with you is part of my journey in doing that. Let me take you back. Me at the age of 2. At the age of 2, there's a very fond memory that I have of looking at myself in the mirror with my mom standing beside me. And I started smiling with joy just hours after recovering from eye surgery. And seeing my reflection, I remember this memory so clear. So both my mom and I were born with eye misalignment, lazy eye, crossed eye. And my mom had surgery when she was a little bit older than I was. I was 2 when I had the surgery. I'm grateful that I had it at an early age. The surgery is where they go in and they realign your eye muscles. They go in, they cut. We won't get into all that. The surgery is called stasmismus. I'm not saying that right. Oh God. Strabismus surgery? I believe that's the name. And so they fix the realignment so that the eyes can appear straight. It doesn't necessarily improve vision, but it improves appearance. However, when you have the surgery, you may still likely have some delay in alignment with your eyes. But in that moment when I was 2, I keenly remember seeing my reflection and being overwhelmed with joy. I don't know. It's just a moment that I remember. I don't remember anything else. After that, I don't remember going home from the hospital. I don't remember anything. And so you might be asking yourself, Casey, what does this have to do with your video that you were going to share with us about your 13-year anniversary? Well, here's the connection. As I was watching my video and getting ready to edit it, I noticed that in a lot of the video that I took of myself talking to you all just directly through the camera, that you can see my eye wander. I became so frustrated at this vision of this because it's something that I have dealt with my entire life. So though I had the surgery when I was 2 and I grew up with 20/20 vision, I could see well, but there was often a delay depending on where I look, how quickly I may glance from one area to the other. I may have an eye that is slower. And so it looks strange to me. Let's just be honest. I don't like the way that looks. So I'm thinking to myself, how do I put this video out? I feel very insecure about it. I have always felt insecure. And it is because of this that I did not go into any broadcasting careers. I had thought about it, but I said, I can't be a news anchor. I can't be on television looking like this. Like people are going to wonder what I'm looking at. And that was a saying that I heard throughout my childhood and even in my early adulthood in dating situations. It was hard. When I heard someone say, what are you looking at? Are you looking at me? Every time I heard that phrase, my heart would just sink. I would feel so inadequate. I would feel so flawed, feared that my eyes wouldn't see or appear straight when I was looking straight. That's something that I've never talked about. I am actually surprised that I have allowed myself to have a presence on social media. Over the last few years on Instagram, I have been able to acquire or build a following of over 100,000 people. And I'm still amazed by that because there are some videos from time to time when I notice it, but it's not as bad as others, but I recognize that when I record video, they tell you to use the back of your phone because that video quality is better. But I don't like to do that because I need to see myself, because I need to see what you're going to see so that I'm comfortable, which is why right now I'm recording this on Zoom because I'm a little frustrated. Not a little, I will own it. I am frustrated with the video that I collected over the weekend. I would say 90% of the video clips where I'm talking to you and having this conversation, it is very, very obvious of the wandering eye. So instead, I will show you some highlights in this video of our time, some of the amazing food that we ate. Okay. Listen, girl, oh my gosh. I am a foodie, and that food, oh, I definitely ate too much. I have to work on that. So good. Such an opportunity for connection with my husband. We both love food, and we treat it as an experience. And the conversations that we have and the flavors, and we get into the whole sensual aspect of food. It's one of the things that connects us. And I appreciate that. But I also recognize that some of the kind of off-camera conversations that I was having with you, I'm not going to post. And I decided that instead I would create this video as part of my healing, as a way to inspire someone else to embrace some things about themselves that they're feeling insecure about. So we can all heal through insecurities, make modifications as needed, but heal through them. So I'm not ashamed to say that I am making this video where I can see myself so I can keep everything in alignment. The other thing that's really meaningful to me is this kind of the symbolism of the surgery and how it can correct the way it looks on the outside, meaning the eyes look aligned, but it doesn't necessarily improve vision because that comes from the brain's communication to the eye. And so when I was thinking about that, I was thinking about just my personal relationship with God, how powerful that is, that things can look a certain way on the outside, but it doesn't mean that on a deeper spiritual level that anything is going to change, right? I could go through the motions of going to church and praying and reading my word and doing morning devotionals. And so from the outside looking in, everything looks straight, but that doesn't mean there's a relationship. That doesn't mean there's spiritual power, because that comes from intimacy with God. And that isn't something that you will just necessarily see. And I appreciated that insight today as I was thinking about this video and what I would share with all of you and for myself. And then one day, maybe my grandbaby's gonna watch this video. Beauty of YouTube and archiving information. Yeah. When we think about our insecurities, it's a reflection of a feeling of inadequacy. And the American Psychological Association defines insecurity as a feeling. It's two parts, and this is what really gets me. It's a feeling of inadequacy, and there's the second part, the inability to cope, the inability to deal with it. It isn't just the feeling. It's not just the feeling. It's the feeling and an inability to deal with it. I want to be in the place where I can have the feeling, but then I know how to cope and work through it. That's how we move through our insecurities. It isn't a problem for us to have them. It's what we do with them. So for those of you who are new here, my name is Casey. Last name Polite. I'm very nice. I don't have a choice. And I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I'm a therapist. I'm a Black girl. I'm light-skinned. I'm a daughter. I have a lot of identities that's ongoing. And I'm also going to be vulnerable in this space. So if you are following this channel, it'll be a mix of education, entertainment, vlogging, diaries, a little bit of everything. This is just a space that I'm claiming as my own. And for those of you who want to embark on this journey of life with me through this medium, you are welcome here. So this weekend, my husband and I celebrated 13 years of marriage, which has been a roller coaster ride of fun and love and excitement and difficulties and health issues and financial challenges and emotional disconnection challenges and intimacy challenges. And then the roller coaster goes back up again, and it's been filled with passion and deep love and growth and yearning and development. And it's been all those things. And I'm grateful for all of them. Even the negative things that I have caused or contributed to, I celebrate all of it because we wouldn't be where we are today without it. And so I want to encourage anyone who is dealing with insecurities within themselves and how that it might be impacting their relationships right now to really work on how you cope with them. And one of the first ways of helping to cope is through acceptance of the insecurity. Because if we're not aware, if we act like it's not really there, or we call it something that it's not, we can't work through it. We can't cope with it if we're in denial. Okay, I have to be honest. There have been times in past relationships where I've been insecure in the relationship and have covered it up with this concept that I just love too hard. Oh, girl, I just love so hard. No, you had some codependency issues. This is me talking to me. You've had some codependency issues where you put said person on a pedestal, lowered your value about yourself, and called it you love hard. So until I was willing to accept some of my personal insecurities as a woman about my value in a relationship, I wasn't able to work through that. It took me a very long time. And even though I have been a therapist for over 20 years and have supported other people on their journey, I wasn't supporting myself in the way that I needed for my growth and personal development in relationships. Because, when you're in it and the emotions are real and in your face, sometimes it's hard to see what you need to see objectively. And as a therapist, where I'm not emotionally invested, I'm not in it, it's easy for me to see the big picture and provide guidance and clinical support for someone else. That can be hard to do for yourself, especially if the belief is rooted. So many seeds have been planted and watered and nurtured over time, which is what I believe we do as humans. I know I did. And so I'm accepting that my eyes will not always look aligned, and that there will be video that I take that at times I won't be able to use due to embarrassment. I don't like the way it looks. And sometimes I might use it and I don't care, and other times I might not. But regardless of what my choice is, I'm not going to judge myself about it. I'm just not. I'm really going to work hard at that. And I want to encourage you to name your insecurities. Don't give them any power by keeping them silent or denying that they exist or covering them up with something else that looks like a strength, because it's not a strength. It's a Band-Aid. And at some point, Band-Aids dry out and they fall off. And when they do, we're not ready. And so what gets exposed is no longer within our narrative. I want to be in control of that Band-Aid and when it comes off. But I have to understand that that's what it is first. Oh, so let me share very quickly. We went to Cancun, Mexico, and, we went to an all-inclusive because I need to be in a space where I don't have to think about food, I don't have to clean up, and I need the food to be really, really good. And at Garza Blanca in Cancun, I believe they have some of the best all-inclusive food. Oh my, nice variety, as you can see. And yeah, okay, I'm probably going to start babbling. So let me end this video with thank you for listening, for watching, for being in this space of authenticity and vulnerability and openness, a place where I'm trying to foster a no judgment zone for myself. And I want to encourage you to do that for yourself. Remember, just because you have a thought doesn't make it real. Challenge your thoughts, question them, put them on trial, make sure there's evidence before you believe it. Monitor your self-talk. If it's negative and it's not adding value, discard it. And if it's hard for you to believe about yourself the way you need to believe and the way you want to believe and the way that God sees you, have self-compassion. Take your time in the process. Just use more gentler words until you can start believing it for yourself. Thank you for watching.